You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done watching season 2 of NOS4A2. This is episode 9. This is the second to last episode, the penultimate episode, and I can't believe that next week is already the season finale. I think overall there was some strong points in this season. I definitely understand why some people fell off at this season, but I think this episode definitely leaves me wondering and leaves me hopeful. I'll get into it later at the end of this review, but let's get right into this review, shall we? I don't want to waste no more time. There will be spoilers, so be warned. So now we're back at Christmas Land, and Charlie has brought little young Wayne here to meet all the kids, try to pretty much make him feel at home. Even shows him the book where all the kids sign their name, and he's even changed his name now to Wayne Manx, which is an awesome villain name. So let's just get some of the bad parts of this episode out of the way. The whole Vic and Lou love situation, it's still not believable. It still feels forced, but it is what it is at this point. I don't know what they're going to do with Lou's character going forward, but the whole I just want to be Wayne's dad and just be a cheerleader on the sideline. I feel like they could just do more with Lou's character or just kill his character off. Like, it's just, they got to make a decision, to be honest. But anyways, Vic and Maggie get ready to go to Christmas Land, and this is where I really appreciate Maggie's character. In this moment, she says, yo, fuck this dude's Rafe. Let's blow up Christmas Land. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, Maggie. I'm rocking with that 100%. And then Vic goes and says, like, nah, we shouldn't do it like that, but, we'll figure something out, but we'll definitely use explosives. And with Millie's help, Vic is able to find the path to Christmas Land, and they end up getting to Christmas Land, but they're not alone, as that there's these bunch of kids just roaming around this place, and they almost get caught. But, thankfully, Maggie's able to use some of her little magic and kind of use that red light. That was really cool. That was a really cool little move she did there. But anyways, this is where like some of the more interesting things about this episode start to kick off, as we see Charlie looking for Millie, finds her in the ice maze, and they're kind of having this back and forth, and you start to see her just questioning her reality and why she is not able to just leave this place, and Charlie just wants her to stay here in Christmas Land. But Millie tells Charlie pretty much she found a house outside of Christmas Land, and Charlie looks surprised because as Millie takes Charlie up to see this house, you've seen kind of Charlie in some pretty crazy predicaments, but this predicament just left him frightened that like this house exists. This is all his fears and stuff, just living outside of Christmas Land, and it's finally he's finally confronted by it. And at the same time, you have Millie just wanting to go with her mother and her father outside of Christmas Land, but her mother pretty much tells Millie that she cannot leave this house because of Charlie. This is just, and she also makes mention of the actual Millie that's in the house as well. So that just really freaks Charlie out, and he just wants to storm off, and he doesn't want anything to do with this place. And I thought that was just a really great scene. Now we get some filler going on here. We have some Tabitha and Lou just bonding, just talking about their significant others. It's just I understand what they're setting up for, but it's like it really wasn't needed. I like when they just focus more on Charlie Manx and Vic McQueen and all that stuff and what's going on with Millie and whatnot. Speaking of which, you know, Vic finally confronts Charlie and just sees Wayne in the state that he's in. He's kind of like halfway in, halfway out, and just, you know, she makes mention as, you know, who you think was the one that helped me get here. You know, it was pretty much Millie. And, you know, this kind of pisses off Charlie, but which leads him to tell the children to play that game, Drifter, something. I forget off the top of my head. And Maggie continues to place the bombs in significant areas, which it was really weird. Like, the kids obviously saw her like kind of disappear, but she was also followed. Somebody gets a hold of her tiles, which, you know, she ends up running into the ice maze. I'm just like, damn, man, they're setting up something for Maggie. On the other side of things, you know, Vic is getting chased by the children. Almost gets like cornered, but is able to still place her bombs where she needs to place them. While that's going on, Millie and Charlie have this kind of back and forth, and just Charlie's like kind of like pissed off, and Millie just wants to leave Christmas Land and never look back and just live a normal life. But, you know, Charlie's not having it. He's just like, get that out of your mind. Forget about Vic McQueen. Because Millie says something like, why don't you just let Wayne go with Vic McQueen? And just, that really pissed off Charlie, man. He's just completely lost it. As the bombs start to go off, it's starting to take effect on Charlie. And, you know, we get back into the ice maze with Maggie, and she gets to catch up with the girl that got her tiles, but now she's getting cornered by these little ass kids. And, you know, conveniently, you know, Vic is able to pretty much save her in the nick of time, which there's a lot of convenient ass shit that happens in this episode. But, you know, anyways, they're able to, you know, kind of barely make it out of the maze while Charlie stalks them, and they probably don't even know that he's right behind them as they run into Wayne. This is where Vic is the most vulnerable. You know, she just tries to just be a mother at this moment and just comfort Wayne, and ends up getting stabbed for it, which is like, fuck, damn. She should be dead, like, based off that stab. That was a pretty deep wound. So now Wayne gets away. Vic is able to recover a little bit with Maggie's help. They try to escape the ice maze, but they're not able to, because Charlie traps them there, starts to beat the shit out of, pretty much beats the shit out of Maggie a little bit. And there's an opening where, you know, one of the explosions goes off and really fucks up Charlie, turns him back into an old man, and this allows Vic to just crack his head open a little bit. And it's just like, that little ass mallet, that shit was ridiculous. Let's be honest. You should have just completely just bashed his head in. But Maggie's able to stop Vic from doing that, because she's like, you don't want to become what he is, pretty much a monster and whatnot. You don't want to become what, you know, Wayne is calling you, a monster. Even though that was the perfect time to just take out Charlie, but we'll get back to that, because, you know, we don't know what effects of him dying in Christmas Land is going to do. Millie has found a way to get to the real world, but she has to hold on to one of these ornaments to kind of stay alive, something that's attached to Christmas Land, because when she didn't have it, she was starting to fade away fairly quickly. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Vic finally catches up with Wayne and stuff, and he's able to kind of talk things through to him a little bit. But the lights start to go off on Christmas Land, and that's pretty much how the episode ends. I don't know what that means. Is Vic going to be stuck in Christmas Land because Charlie is dead? Or what's going to go on, based off of what's going to happen in the season finale. It's not looking good for Maggie. There's a lot of things that's going to go on next week. I'm looking forward to the season finale. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode in the comments below. Till next week, I'll see y'all later.